All right, so when you guys are approaching startups to work with them on paid advertising, what sort of mindset are they usually in? Are they really skeptical about using it, or are they just trying to figure out anything that'll help them grow when they're ready to dive in and start that phase of their business?
Yeah, I think startups are very open-minded and willing to test new ideas. I think the issue more lies in that a lot of agencies expect startups to adapt to them and how they do things. Startup time, where agency time, where startup time in the feedback loop is very different. And I can speak a little to this because in a prior life, prior to working at Granular, I was an entrepreneur in residence at a top 15 business accelerator generator. I worked as an entrepreneur in residence there, helping to recruit startups to apply for our program and working with companies in our portfolio that were incubated by Generator, figuring out based off of the various stages of where they were at, how to help them with their sales in marketing. So I think when in talking with a lot of these startups, they are very open-minded. They get asked by investors, look, what are you guys doing with paid search? Because they know it's a measurable channel. They know that it's a channel that is a great lever for being able to drive measurable results, get feedback. But a lot of startups tend to stay away from it. They'll move towards things like cold calling, cold email, things that don't cost money out of pocket, and they undervalue their time, and they'll just put in a ton of time just to try and get traction instead of having the mentality of working smarter with AdWords. And it's understandable. I also had started a startup myself, and it can be a bit scary. You invest $50, $100, $300, and you don't see the correct results. And I think a lot of times as a startup founder or startup teams, you want to try and figure things out for yourself because you're having to figure out everything in your business along with your co-founders. But I think what's interesting about what Jordan and Granular's been able to do, and with some of my experience as well, is being able to bridge that communication gap. And really, startup founders care and startup teams care deeply about the mission they have. They've quit jobs, they've convinced people to invest a lot of money and time into them based around this idea that they have. And I think they get a bit annoyed when they will talk to an agency who just expects you have to pay this minimum retainer fee, this is how it works, it's not about these other measurable things. They take 24 hours plus to respond to emails. That just annoys them quite a bit. I think that startups, they're very open-minded to AdWords. It's just being able to say, all right, how can we make sure that, what can be real with me? Tell me, what are you seeing? What should I expect? How do I invest my first $50 in AdWords? My first 100, what do I need to do? And can I even do that? There's a lot of people who just think you can't do that and you absolutely can. And Jordan and the guys at Granular have been able to prove that you can do that and scale that up quite a bit.